If an advanced civilization once thrived on Earth millions of years ago, why haven't we found a single piece of definitive evidence? No machines, no writing, no monuments, just silence. The answer might not be absence, it might be obscuration. Over geological time, Earth doesn't just erase, it transforms. Rain, wind, heat, pressure. These are the sculptors of continents, but they're also the destroyers of memory. And when it comes to detecting the traces of ancient intelligence, they are nature's greatest conspirators. Even if a structure, say a building, a roadway, or a machine, somehow survived the chaos of eons, it would eventually be replaced by minerals, fused into rock, or dissolved completely. Organic materials decay, metals corrode. Even plastics, though persistent, degrade under the right conditions. The very crust of the Earth is in constant motion, recycling itself over and over. That means a city built 100 million years ago would be long gone today, unless it were preserved under extraordinary circumstances, such as being buried in volcanic ash, frozen in permafrost, or submerged in deep ocean sediments shielded from tectonic activity. But even in these ideal scenarios, identifying artificiality isn't easy. A mineralized circuit board might resemble a fossilized shell. A collapsed dome might register as a natural cavern. Without context, without a clear pattern, we simply wouldn't know what we're looking at. This brings us to a brutal truth. Nature doesn't care what we build. Time doesn't remember us easily. And so, if a civilization did exist, an ancient culture with machines, power systems, perhaps even global communication, it could be completely erased, its achievements turned to dust, its story forgotten. Unless we're asking the wrong questions. Instead of looking for surviving objects, maybe we should be looking for surviving effects. What does that mean? Let's imagine this lost civilization altered the atmosphere, much like we're doing today. Or they changed the chemistry of the oceans. These changes would leave geochemical markers, shifts in isotope ratios, spikes in rare elements, layers of pollution embedded in ancient rock. And here's the kicker. We've found some. There are periods in Earth's history, like the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, where carbon levels spiked dramatically, ocean acidity increased, and extinction events followed. These are explained by natural causes, like volcanic activity or methane release. But what if, just what if, one of them wasn't natural? Of course, mainstream science doesn't support this idea, yet. But the Silurian hypothesis, proposed by NASA's Gavin Schmidt and astrophysicist Adam Frank, opens the door. It asks, if an industrial civilization had existed before humans, what signs would it leave, and would we even be able to detect them? Their answer is sobering. Detection would be extremely difficult. Earth is not just dynamic, it's self-healing. Like a living organism, it absorbs trauma, covers scars, and renews. So unless we stumble upon a miracle, an intact artifact in undisturbed strata, or a message encoded in something impossibly durable, we may never know for sure. And maybe, that's the point. Some theorists suggest that an ancient civilization, aware of its own fragility, might have taken steps to erase itself or hide itself, not out of shame, but out of wisdom. Perhaps they understood the danger of their technology falling into the wrong hands. Or maybe they left behind only what they wanted to be found. Not tools, but teachings. That idea leads us to another possibility. What if the real artifacts are ideas? Perhaps some knowledge did survive, not in stone but in myth, symbol, or genetic memory. Perhaps the stories of Atlantis, the tales of floods, the obsession with celestial alignments are echoes, faint, distorted, but persistent. Or maybe what survived wasn't cultural at all. Maybe they left a legacy in biology. Could genetic code itself carry a message? Could the architecture of DNA or the structure of consciousness bear a watermark from minds far older than ours? We're in speculative territory, yes, but speculation has its place, especially when exploring the deep unknown. At Infinity Beyond, we don't claim certainty. We claim curiosity, because history is not a straight line, it's a spiral. Civilizations rise and fall, knowledge is gained and lost, and sometimes the answers lie not in what we know, but in what we forgot to look for. So where do we go from here? We expand the search. We revisit anomalies. We challenge assumptions. And we embrace the possibility that the greatest secrets of Earth are not out in space, but down below, fossilized in silence. In the next segment, we'll turn our attention to how this search reshapes our understanding of ourselves, not just as a species, but as a temporary civilization in a very ancient world. And we'll ask, can knowing what may have come before help us avoid the same fate? Because if we listen closely, the Earth might still be whispering, and the past may be trying to save us from our own future.